Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the Good Game Cup. Some good games for the fans, and nothing but with these two here in a best-of-5. It could be over in 20 minutes or 2.5 hours. I'd lean towards the first one, depending on the day. But let me first introduce one of the most efficient players in StarCraft 2. When he wins or loses, he does it in confusing and blindingly quick fashion. It's almost like a shock to everyone involved, even himself, when he wins the game. Of course, I'm talking about one sure to give you a shock. It's Zest. What's that, 18 Nexus? What? Anyways, let's see if he even scouts early enough to comprehend how ridiculously quick that Nexus is. He has a tendency to go about his own business, and his business is building units that start with M. One of ByuN's greatest idols. And dramatic players, of course, Shopify Rebellions. ByuN. He has his style, and he refuses to change it. It's a matter of principle. Now, unfortunately, when you don't SCV scout, what can happen is... Okay, so he went for the Nexus. The second pylon's on the other side of the map. ByuN is not scouting except with the first Marine. Zest just has a gateway out here. I can't tell if the Nexus is supposed to be like a placeholder to convince ByuN he's not cheesing him, or if the chrono boost is an important part of the build. It's unclear. It's not really he's just trying to have it all. He has 2 Nexi. He's getting a 3rd gate, or just 3 gating. But the second... Okay. We quickly learn that in Zest series, the production tab and the map, like, we just stop trying to predict. We just go into full play-by-play mode. Just pretend I've never played this game before. Oh, it's like he's getting the fancy warp cube over here. It's lighting up, and we all know that's important. Speaking of which, oh my god, he's got the light creature, and oh, it faded out. That's auspicious. Oh no, the race car on the way. Race car, got a little tap on the shoulder from Laser Lady here. But it looks like it's going to make it to the other side. No repairing that. Going to have to take that one back into the shop. Whoa. A scuttler right over here. Oh, sneaking behind that big radar dish. Going to be hard to spot that one. It looks like it's in the ground as well. Light ladies teleporting in. Trying to come up the ramp. These tiny dudes with guns holding the line for now. And some of those worker robots. Well, here we are. And I'm done with this in favor of trying to figure out. So ByuN has no units. The Widowmine hits. Zest he's just building adepts. What year is it? Okay, so ByuN lets him in. But the adepts are killing the Marines, so I don't... This, on paper, Zest is just killing ByuN. I'm not sure what we're scrawling on. It's probably some sort of papyrus or stone tablet or something. But the adepts have just been hitting the command center the whole time. Well, the Cyclone microed back. Locks on, looks for another hit. ByuN, beautiful blink micro with that medevac. But here comes some more adepts. Zest is taking a 3rd because, obviously, the adepts thought about shading in. Repairs the Cyclone. Drops a supply depot because it's been a bit of a hectic situation. So... Now what? What is this? He's just doing it's not even all in. But I don't even know what this is. It's madness. No, this is Zest. Goes for the medevac, which is the source of the micro, but if you kill the medevac, well, you can kill both. Yeah, he just walks up and he kills them. Yeah, ByuN, did you ever see that one coming? Wow, what a novel strategy. Have you tried punching him in the face? There's a Banshee. I don't think it has cloak. It was spotted by the probe at the watchtower. And also there's a robo, so... yeah, the Banshee... just the observer gonna keep a close eye on that one. There is no cloak, so... yeah. You stay right there. No funny business. No shenanigans. No malarkey. None of that. Stay back in Wings of Liberty where you belong. But you're doing a Wings of Liberty style stupid random ass gateway timing. Not important. Also, how are you talking to me? Zest is now... oh, what a beautiful... this is one of... look at this aesthetically pleasing base here. Zest playing a bit of a city builder. Oh, he slaps down the pylon. Yeah, that really ties the whole thing together. Though will make it harder to navigate if there's a drop. And good thing ByuN isn't well known for drops. Scan. Yeah, so Zest, in typical Zest fashion, has managed to get a huge lead and then make no units. So now, somehow, 2 tanks and 7 Marines are a deadly attack force. Auto turret in the main, 1 Stalker to deal with it. There's just not that many units here. A Colossus is on the way, though that's not a huge part of this. The Banshee, still just pinned back. Still a gateway on the other side. It looks like the Raven's gonna accidentally fly over it. This army should not be hanging out. The army, if he goes forward, that is a risky... yeah, he uses the Banshee to pull Zest's army back far enough so we can escape. A tactical withdrawal. The Raven's like, guys. Well, that explains a bit. ByuN now building his 3rd on location, so everyone back at home. Macroing it out. Zest adding +1 blank extended thermal lance. I gotta give some credit. I am sick and tired of Protoss players putting all of their tech in the corner of the main, especially against ByuN, of all people. The gateways, okay, but if I see another Protoss pustule getting popped by those drops and making Terrans feel justified, I'm going to be mildly upset, okay? And that's the start of being even more upset, and that leads to hate, and that leads to the Dark Shrine. So with that, Zest has whatever this army is. He's got extended thermal lance 20 seconds out. He's got charge just started. Command center finishes. Zest just blocks in. He's attacking. He doesn't have thermal lance or charge. He's just decided this is the time, though. We're doing it. Oh, he dodged it. Oh, he dodged the interference matrix. Styling on him. Oh my god, what a save! What a save! Zest just walks up, and he walks out with the command center lifted completely off the area. Not like the dodging of the interference matrix was super necessary, but it was very cool. And that's more of a mental thing. It's like, if he can do that, then... one of my few tools against Colossi before Vikings. Well, Zest walking up. Of course, I didn't want to say it, but... and now he walks up the ramp into siege tanks in a terrible position. He just walks the Stalkers in. He right-clicks on Marines. This is about as perfect of a concave as you can ever get. Yeah, the Marauders are doing what Marauders do best, but he just dunks a bunch of charge lots in there. The Prism was inside of the Colossus. And somehow Zest walks up a ramp into a siege tank concave, blinks the star. Wow, there goes a Marauder. And he comes out with a win. There was no hesitation, no questioning of whether that was maybe the best move. And ByuN just taps it. Oh, the submission. ByuN just taps out. Oh my god. Zest with a dominant play there. Well, rough game for ByuN. from the haphazard, like, I don't even know. It wasn't all in. It wasn't even really a cheese. From the gateway, he drooled out gateway units into ByuN's base. And eventually ByuN was so grossed out, he kind of got scared and stuck in his main. I can't describe it in many more. Yeah, he was just drooling gateway units at him. Because it wasn't like he had nothing else go. Jimmy, can we just go to the second game so I stop talking? Well, I'm not going to stop talking, but at least there'd be something else to distract you. So that's what's important. Oh, Zest murdered the cleaning bot. Important start to the game. Always important to get that out of the way. Well, that sets the tone, so expect the unexpected. And even when you're expecting that, still be surprised. ByuN with a 2 gas. I don't blame him. Let's take the initiative back here. These games and this style of play does seem to favor whoever hits first. Even if it is defended, you still have the time to recover and deal with whatever they're using to defend. Of course, Zest did manage to lose so many of his units and still bounce back. I think it's because of the reckless expanding. He expands so quickly. Well, not this game, but last game. He expands so quickly, he's actually in an okay economic spot, despite seemingly losing everything. It is exactly the opposite of how you're supposed to play StarCraft. Well, there's a Zealot. Did he even scout? He did not scout. So, this is a 2 gas. The Zealot is actually not going to do much. Well, hopefully, if ByuN shuts the door in his face. Because there is no command center to delay or cancel. There's a wall on the high ground. And there's no, like, he can't jump over the depots. To the best of my knowledge, there is no way for this Zealot to easily get in the base. And I neglected to consider there would have been a moment when he switched the barracks and the factory, and that moment was 3 seconds before the Zealot showed up, and it could have been a horrible... It could have happened. He could have literally lifted the door for him. It was that close. So, Twilight, Gate. It's a Hellion... Are you gonna do an armory build in Protoss versus Terran? I'm sorry. No, let me make this clear. A Hellbat build? It could very well be Widow Mines. Okay. Okay, ByuN. Thank God. Well, he does have 4 Hellions. ByuN can't stop with these Hellbat builds. It doesn't matter, like... Whenever he's not doing some weird bio all-in, he's like, well, what about Hellbats, though? I mean, Armory is more for Widow. He will probably be losing all of the Hellions before the Armory finishes. This is more for the run-by. Thing is, Zest knows it was at least a 1 base. He has his strong suspicions. I didn't think he saw anything here, but he's already in position to drive back the medevac. So, he had his suspicions. He was also patrolling the edges of the natural. I think just hedging his bets there. There's the double-double. The Hellions starting to drop out. The probes. He gets the medevac. The probes splitting. Looking good so far. 4 kills. Not too bad. 5, 6. No, 8. No, 5 kills. Okay, now this is the real danger here. The Widow Mine drop. 5 kills for the Hellions was not much. But, oh, he gets 1 mine. The other 2 will make it to the mineral line. There's already an observer on the way. Looks to sacrifice a probe. Armory is done. He's going to try to pick up and get out. So far, Zest, 8 probes between this all, which it could have been much worse. He just kind of batted it down here. The second medevac was not killed. Well, there's the Widow Mine in the main, but he's gonna get that one. Alright, this was annoying. But overall, Zest, well, he just slapped it down. There's now a Raven headed out. Zest takes a third. ByuN building an orbital at his natural. So once again, ByuN... Oh, that Widow Mine! Okay. Does he lose the medevac too? The Stalkers, pony trotting? No, not quite. Okay. So what's the total damage? Zest 8 probes ahead. He has a bunch of Stalkers, so it's going to be very hard for ByuN to just move out. Blink is done. Does this wall stop Stalkers? Has Zest walled out his Stalkers with a pylon? Wow. 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 This is a Hellion / Stalker type pylon. Swipe your Blink card to pass. Like, it's just the right size. Like, it's a filter pylon. That is gonna end up screwing Zest. Mark my words. I am confident at some point he's really gonna need to get something back. Zest. Whoa, in a surprising show of hesitation, does not blink onto the tank. I think he noticed the second one on the high ground. He does have a third. ByuN looks like he's gonna move out with just the basic tank push here. Otherwise, Zest is going to get this huge economy. Yeah. ByuN not one to sit back. Oh, he sees the observer, but the observer sees the unit, which is, you know, what observers do. It's kind of their thing. Stalkers doing their stalkerness. Just dip, dive, duck, blink, and dodge. Getting as many Marines as possible. 3 tanks. Pretty scary. 3 tanks is enough to make quick work of those Stalkers. They're sieged up. Yeah, Zest kind of just pulls back here. Wasn't super cool, but he finds the Raven! Oh! Ho, ho. Probably the best pickoff he could hope for. Trying to tank some damage. A shield battery would be very nice. A shield battery comes up. Oh my, but the tanks are doing terrible, terrible damage here. Like, he's target firing. The Colossus helps out. There goes the Immortal. It's literally just a Colossus. Gets the medevac. A bloody battle. Both sides losing a huge chunk of their army. The Blink Stalkers are chasing forward. The tank almost gets 2 Stalkers. The Colossus comes in just in time to save the day. And now Zest, he has not been focused on probes, which in this case is a good thing. I love how Zest is setting. He must be playing some city builders lately. I'm not used to this level of organization from Zest. I love how his tech is not sitting on the edge of his base. His gateways, the triple pylon, like you can never be too careful. Yeah, there you go. A method to the madness. Where's those double forges? In the very back of the main. Gonna have to go deep for those. Scan, spots an observer, but there's a second observer. It's in position to see. ByuN picks up with everything he has. Well, here we go. Zest is at the watchtower, but the watchtower does not cover... it doesn't cover the very edge of the map. Very intentionally. There are some Stalkers moving in position. Not enough to deal with 2 medevacs. He does have an observer showing that there's no army coming across, so... How many gates now? Opening up 8. Yeah. Oh, he spotted him! That reaction. Zest, like... there's no such thing. It's too careful here. More than enough Stalkers to shoot down those medevacs now. ByuN has managed to get his expansion because Zest did not have a huge probe count. The worker counts are now almost even, which income gonna start dipping back towards ByuN here. Not that it's been much of a disparity throughout. Oh, there you go. Give it one more mule trip. Yeah. And with only 60 probes, Zest is going to be in this awkward scenario of maybe overcommitting to the defense. Tanks, ghosts on the way. 1-1 finishing out. 1-1 already done for ByuN. He may have forgotten that he has an armory. If we remember the Widowmine drop many moons ago. A second Robo and a Dark Shrine. A Dark Shrine on the edge of the main. That's not a real Phoenix. Nobody's shooting at it, though. They're just ignoring it. We know you're not real. You mean nothing. Zest taking a fourth to the southern side. Which means both his third and the fourth are on the same side of the map, which can be a weakness, but also if he's able to put together some preemptive defense. The army, oh my god. Hello, Zest! He's too busy staring at the rocks. Now is not the time for archaeology. Well, the Zealots rub up against his own force fields, which means he loses a big chunk of them before anything really gets started. The Bio Army took some hits, but most of the key units on the back line. He's trying to hold position in just the right spot. Well, that's a little awkward. A full stim here from ByuN, but he has medevac energy. Threatening the Zealots into the third. Anything to distract ByuN. The Colossi on the standoff. A few DTs. Oh, the DTs could be huge. Oh, the DTs from the back on the tanks, but the Bio Army is tearing through everything. You need to attack. He doesn't have a scan on his tanks, though. The DTs are undercutting this entire attack. And Zest sweeps the rug. 11 SCVs. The Zealot's still going to work. The DTs come in at the clutch timing. The rocks he opened up allow ByuN to retreat, surprisingly. So what looked to be a potentially deadly attack is saved by the Dark Templar. By no means is Zest out of the woods yet, but without that flank, that amount of tanks and ghosts is very likely to be at least close to critical damage. But you're not expecting the DTs to first show up on your tank line. And ByuN was dealing with everything back at home. +2/+2 is finishing. ByuN kind of neglected those upgrades, and that means Zest will take a lead. +3 attack immediately. I gotta say, unironically, I love how Zest is setting up his base. Maybe besides the Dark Shrine, but overall, not too many gateways in the same place. The Robos ensconced. Maybe I'm playing too much Factorio lately. That's probably it. +2 attack finishes for ByuN. I mean, well, he's got a decent army. There's no real timing he's looking for, but besides when he feels confident he has enough units. There's no real upgrades finishing, and honestly at this stage, well, that's maybe not where you want to put your Warp Prism, Zest. ByuN gives it a strong talking to, reminds it that this is a no-fly zone. Zest does not seem to care. Just flies the Prism right over. Good luck dealing with that. The tanks force fielded in. The EMPs across the board, hitting the Archon. Zealots trickling through the left flank. More bio coming up, and Zest starting to rethink his opportunities in this fight. The Colossi trying to melt through, but the Marauders are tanking the hits and blasting through the front. Zealots warped in. There's almost no anti-air, and the Warp Prism Zealot reinforcements are enough to carry Zest into a 2-0. Wow, once again, ByuN looked like he had the concave and was about to turn the fight, and then Zest brings in 10 Zealots out of nowhere. The confidence / laziness on the Prism pays off yet again. Oh my. Zest with a pretty great game there, though. I gotta say, like, he shielded everything. He set... The only concerning parts were actually the big moves. that he made, like the actual engagements, but he set himself up for success. And ByuN kind of walked into it. Well, ByuN not finding... I kind of... I didn't know with this series. Both these guys. Game 3. Pride of Eltaris has a gold base. Zest is very aware of that. As we've seen, Game 7 of the GSL Finals is when we've seen that, of all people. ByuN should be winning these fights. Zest just keeps finding... He's one of those players whose specialty is not micro or macro, or even like cheese or all that. It's just winning. It's a confidence that manifests himself either way. More in Protoss than any other race. Like I reference Parting, MC, SOS. These Protoss players who, like, you can't point to anything in particular, but they're like, no, I can win. And then they do. ByuN, I feel like ByuN is kind of like, he's a river. Okay? Sometimes he's charting the right course, and sometimes he's led astray, and I don't know what that means in this context. Sometimes Zest is a beaver who gnaws on a tree at just the right moment and dams the river. And that is what force fields are. We're really... anyone played Timber more? Pretty good. I gotta play some more of that. I like my city builders, alright? We're gonna start commenting. This is going to become, instead of professional StarCraft casting, I'm just going to comment on the aesthetic pleasingness and also efficiency of players' bases. Zerg players just ride out. Okay. Zerg players are automatically disqualified because creep is ugly. No offense. Some offense, actually. It's okay. Some of my best friends are Zerg. Command center first from ByuN. A bold move. Zest with the tip of the spear here. What was the name of that zealot that volunteered for the ill-fated attack on Ire? Somebody's got to go down first. It's like, don't we have orbital strike weapon? Somebody has to go down first. And, well, that zealot shows up. The most dramatic scout. And there's no units because he, like, command center first. Well, this is awkward. The thing is, Zest, there's going to be a Marauder a lot earlier than in these previous matches. The Marauder, ByuN loves his Marauders. And you're not going to get much done once it shows up. So this, I do think, works out fine for ByuN. Like, he doesn't lose much time. It's not like he's going to lift the command center for 2 units. So Zest is going Blink with 1 gateway. He's going to do the 1 gate to Blink Nexus. So 1 gateway is usually, I mean, literally the least you could do. You can't get Warp Gate without at least 1 gateway, so... But there you go, there's the gateway. 1 gate Blink is optimistic. He's adding 2 gates on. ByuN is now building a comfortable amount of units. He's got 3 racks. So, 3 Stalkers and a Zealot. That's the army. That's the whole army. I'm not sure how much Blink Micro you can get done with that, but Zest is always one to show us. Well, ByuN not pressing the issue. I think he's a little intimidated. We got some shield batteries. Yeah, shield battery and 1 gate. That's like 5 gates of units there, if you ask your average Terran. So, thing is, ByuN is not behind right now. By no means. Because it was not a Nexus first, and also the 3rd doesn't kick in for quite a bit. There's not going to be the production, the Marine. All right, sir, do you have a permit? Stalker shut it down. On seeing the third, ByuN can be comfortable. He saw the blink, too. He actually just gave away the blink, even though the Stalkers kind of strongly suggested it. He just showed the blink. Zest is like, you did not see that. It was lag. That's why my units teleported. ByuN's like, no. And Zest says, go. His ruse figured out. He tried. Good attempt, though, Zest. Almost convinced him. Charge is on the way. It's just going to be that brute force mass gate style. ByuN waiting out. +1 combat shield. The triple threat. Stim combat shield. +1. And then the special sauce. Okay. Which is, of course, the medevacs, which slather their healing beams all over it. Though there's a lot of slathering to be done. With this many, that is a hefty bio army. That is a hefty army. He's got a lot going on here. The army supply is 57 to 22, and I'm not a mathematician. But that seems like quite a disparity. Especially considering there's not even a hint of splash damage on the way. It's just straight up gateway units with no upgrades. So the force fields, the beaver dam, lays it down. Oh no. Has to drop the last force field. He's gonna go through the rocks though. The stream erodes through the rocks and evades the dam, which also falls apart because it's not architecturally sound. Well, there's a bunch of stalkers. Shield battery overcharge at the back. Zest, that's a calculated positioning. It's mass blink stalker. It's only 2 medevacs. Zest desperate to hold on. But the bio army's just gonna keep coming. The blinks are good, but there's nothing stopping him now. A warping of zealots that saved the day before. Can it again? The blinks have been beautiful, but a couple Widowmines are showing up to the party. One targeted down the second one as well. Is that enough? Zest, oh, the micro back with the Marauders. +1. Zest is holding the line for now. Actually, incredible micro out of Zest. He is handling this so well for what he has. ByuN still has all the momentum, but he very easily could have gotten run over by now. One bad set of blanks, misplaced force fields, mistargeting on those mines even. Thing is, though, the bio army's just getting bigger. There's still nothing that directly cuts down on the ability of ByuN to reinforce. Like, he can just keep building the same stuff. And he would love to. All these units start with them. He is in his element right now. Melement, no. A handful. A large handful. Almost like 2 hands. Of... Oh, ByuN picks up. And he goes to the main. Meanwhile, though, charge lots at the back. Armory, engineering base, sensor tower, here we go. Main base, vulnerable. Zest has to trickle back through his natural. For once, a pylon is powering so much of this. 3 Widowmines, though he might be able to drag them in. The Zealot's doing a lot of damage on the other side, but does Zest have any hope of dealing with this back at home? That one pylon is powering a huge amount, and suddenly those gateways are walling off Zest more than anything else. No force fields here. The Blink Stalker's doing what they can. ByuN holding his ground and fighting it out. Because these bio units, even if he eventually ends up losing them, have traded more than well enough. Look at the worker count. 42 probes, targeting down Stalkers. They're not enough. The medevacs can evacuate. He even gets out with a few units, kind of unnecessarily. And Zest, with a miraculous hold, but he needs a few more sets of divine intervention in order to hold the next field. Without the splash damage, it's a numbers game, and right now it just doesn't add up. ByuN cleared up the Zealots. A shield battery overcharge, but there aren't enough Stalkers to really take advantage of it. Widow Mines looking for a connection. +2 is done. 2 Colossi halfway there. ByuN just chewing through whatever gets into range. There's just not enough. Is he gonna try to drag it in? He can't lose the third. The Widow Mines being negated as well as he can. Couple more Zealots coming in. Colossi pop out. Zest. A valiant defense. Like, he made it so far. Where are those Colossi? Showing up now. The Widow Mine's actually doing some damage to the Terran. Colossus shows up. But, like, is there an overcharge? No. Okay. Zest, it's alright. ByuN finally powers through. But Zest is looking kind of uncharacteristically strong. In ways I don't expect. He's just so solid. Yeah, ByuN definitely got the better end of the builds. And he handled it well. If Zest had reached for Colossi instead of charge, I mean, the charge call, it's impossible to make the call. But going charge instead of Colossi ended up not working out. But you can't say that's a wrong call. It's just, if you don't feel like you have enough time to get to Colossi, you have to go for something a little closer. Well, ByuN puts one on the board. He worked for it. He worked real hard, concerningly hard. But it is one on the board. Yeah, that blank micro, the management of his army was about as perfect. I like how even the game where ByuN wins, still just talking about Zest. I mean, you expect a big bio ball to roll over the Stalkers. That was not unexpected. What was unexpected was how long it took. And it's not even like, I'm almost confused. Well, Zest has added twists in. He's adding a little special sauce in. It's been either, like, game 1 has been the weird gateway timing, like the proxy-ish gate, and then games 2 and 3 have been Zealot first. But he is not alone in that. I've seen several, especially Korean Protoss players, are adding in that Zealot first. I think it's kind of a proactive move against proxy Rex. Like, you get 1, if it's a proxy Rex, you have a Zealot. 2, if it's not, you can maybe pressure the expand. It's been worked out that this is more worth it than just sitting back and maybe eating a Reaper or something. I do like ByuN's reactor first here. It seems like, oh, he's not going to have any... But the reactor first means he'll have 2 Marines at a time. He should have 4 Marines right about the time the Zealot's coming in. So the reactor first is actually safer. ByuN, once again, I don't think he's scouted the other side of the map with an SCV this series. He's got his build, and he's sticking to it. He's like, I liked when I made the barracks units. Let's stick with that. So he's going to go for a 3-Rex again, it looks like. He likes the barracks units. Well, here's the Zealot. Zealot comes in, SCV goes out. You can't explain that. Oh, you gonna let him in? Well, Zest knows at this point. There shouldn't be any canceling this, but it was an Adept instead of a Stalker, so he does want to press the issue. Zest is not done. Zealot coming back in. This is going to be a bit of a confusing. The Adept, a bit mistimed. The Zealot tanking a lot of damage, but yeah, the Marines hold. He's lucky to get out with the Adept. So it's not a 3-Rex, it's a 3cc with a 2-Rex. Meanwhile, an Oracle for Zest. Probably the least surprising build on this map. Blackburn, the only map with a closer air than ground distance, or at least significantly. Honestly, I thought this series would just be a bunch of cheeses back and forth and one-sided games. But it's turned out... I mean, it's ByuN versus Zest, but it's turned out to be... Oh no, I'm saying it, and the series is not over. It could end with one Oracle, but it's turned out to be quite a back and forth, like, evenly matched series. With Zest being a very solid macro Protoss, and ByuN, I mean, being ByuN. So... ByuN is on brand. 3 CCs, 3 racks, engineering bay, and maybe eventually we'll think about a factory. Zest with a conservative 3 base. Still very quick 3rd base. But he does have the Oracle, which is the most active possible observer. The Marine on the high ground. Oh, he's getting his revenge. The Marine on the high ground spotted that Oracle there. For the rest of them, but couldn't quite finish it off. Wait, is there no turret? This is a bit lazy. Well, the Marines have to come back for a moment. Here's combat shield on the way. So, Zest is just now adding on the Twilight and the Forge. It is once again going to be a heavy gateway hold. And for some reason, I'm assuming ByuN will attack first. Though, in fact, he expanded the 3rd command center. Yeah, given away here. This one Oracle is doing great work. It got a stim out of Marines that can't be healed for another minute yet. He spotted the 3rd CC. So, Zest has all the information here. Now, ByuN will have another hefty army. Just slap that rebel. Come on, Zest, please. He's being... I don't know who this is we're watching, but Zest is... For someone who retired 3 months ago, Zest is playing some pretty immaculate Protoss. Goes in with the stasis, cancels. Did you know you can cancel and you don't have to let it play out? Fun fact, Zest does recall. Gets out. I'm not sure if ByuN spotted that, because if he didn't spot it, he'll keep some Marines at the back, at least for now. Well, there's that hefty bio army. Did ByuN only build... No, he finished one medevac already. The second one's finishing up. That's a lot of Marines. Good part of every balanced Terran. What's the army supply? Not much of a disparity, but there's no blink. A lot of the, well, oh, there are the Stalkers. Waiting for the inevitable drop into the main. Ask and ye shall receive. ByuN. On brand. Zest. Already boxing him out. Of course. Well. Revelation. Could he do a fake? No, he's going to try to knock out the pylons. Blink is a 1 second off. He expected to be able to blink back. The Stalkers curving the shots just like the Marauders. You know, that actually was not a great trade. Are you really just busting your way in here like this? What is this, Normandy? ByuN. It's like, now I can go. ByuN. What? You know, all right. Well, 2 Colossi on the way. Those 2 Colossi are everything. Zest, very quick reactions here. 2 Colossi, they don't have thermal. Oh, beautiful force field, but ByuN goes with a hot pickup. Still gonna lose a bunch. Oh, he comes in. Artisan Beaver. And he slices up a hearty chunk. Doesn't get all of it, but stops that attack. Now, there's just not enough left over, especially now that Colossi are involved. We have full production. Now, just because Zest holds, he's got 69 probes. Nice, solid macro number. Not building anymore either. He knows what he wants. Charge on the way. He's got all the pieces coming together, though he doesn't have... What is the gateway count? 6 gates. And a fleet beacon. On the other hand, ByuN went for the gold almost immediately while the push was happening. He was just projecting himself out on the map in order to get that gold base safely. It looks like Zest is reaching for carriers. Which, I mean... we'll see how it plays out. I don't actually know. Like, I'm making the sound like it's a bad idea, but I don't think it is. I actually, Zest is in a pretty comfortable position to hold the line on the ground. He's got 4 Colossi. He's building 2 Disruptors. All right, Disruptor Carrier. That is a dangerous and deadly combination. Expensive, yes. Micro heavy. Pretty yes. But very powerful. He's even... Oh my god, who does this? Zest knows where all the rocks are. He will hunt them down and he will break them. Partially so he can get stalkers to block drops to the main. ByuN scans 2 carriers in production. Yeah, that's... He pulls the trigger on an attack. He's almost maxed out as well, so why not? It's only gonna get worse from here. The Disruptors. Oh my god, that Observer is perfect. Fires a volley! Direct! Oh my god! Oh! 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 Well, Zest just double barrel unloaded directly into ByuN. And yeah, I think that'll slow down the attack. Wow, 3,200 to 1,000 minerals. Even more gas for a Bio-Terran. Zest on point. My god. Now, that's more of a mental victory than it is an outright one, as Zest not pressing the issue because he's still building up carriers. And the biggest risk is overextending while your army is still coming together. He understands that. Wow, ByuN has floated his factory. That's how little he cares for factory units. It's a very Wings of Liberty-esque move. The offending observer is spotted and slaughtered. But the damage has already been done. The TPM! Oh, this is a... Wow, ByuN. Putting a Bronze League Heroes twist. He is preparing for the carriers and the Colossi. ByuN is not ignoring the threat the carriers pose. The turrets per minute will raise. The turret spread. It's like caltrops for air. Fusion core on the way. Well, the Disruptors have to get involved. The Viking fleet. 11 Vikings. But Zest is going to avoid the turrets. The thing is, they whittle down the interceptor count. Disruptor doesn't find the mark. There are more Disruptors behind the lines. Here we go. Disruptor shot still looking for more. Interceptor count dwindling down to 5. Which is, you know, not very many. The Blink Stalker's going forward. There's actually nothing left in the tank. These carriers are empty right now. The Bio Army on the other side being held by shield battery overcharge. Revelation, Zest cleared out the turret ring, but it's going to cost him another drop. ByuN picks up, goes to the other side, looking for the high ground is Zest. Rebuilding those interceptors. He's now killed 46 of them. They aren't free. 15 minerals apiece. Well, Stalkers are just... He has a ghost. This is what I love about ByuN. He uses ghosts like another bio unit. And why not? Having a ghost in the drop means you do a lot better against those Stalkers, which are half shields. 3-3 on the way. So a bit of a unclear engagement. I think Zest, he lost a couple carriers. He hasn't lost any disruptors. At the same time, though, ByuN seemed to think that the turret vanguard here was the way to go. He will replace it. Can start his high-sec auto-tracking and Neo-Steel armor upgrades, very key. Now we have some of the most dangerous armies. ByuN picks up, but he heads anywhere else. A scan, sees there's no gold. ByuN trying to move forward. The interceptors on their own will easily get whittled down. The turret ring increases again. ByuN still has that 30 supply out there. I think Zest has an idea of it. The Liberators, a Venn diagram of freedom, but the carriers over the top. Still enough interceptors to be able to do the damage. 10 Stalkers warping into the fray. The drop has unloaded outside Zest's third. The Vikings kiting back. Zest marching forward. Disruptor shot. Dodging back is ByuN. Bio Army going to work. 11 SCVs alongside the arm. Carriers almost empty. EMPs across the front. Stunner stepping back. Bio is too much at this stage. And there's nothing to stop it. The Disruptor's getting a little close for comfort. More. He hits the deck with the Vikings. He lifts back up. A big mistake, but he still gets a carrier. Disruptor shot powering through. Zest is marching into the main, but the Bio Army is gutting the third. There is still recall on the table, but another leg of it is about to be removed at the third base. ByuN in full base trade mode. Into the main is Zest. The carriers are almost empty. The Disruptor is going to have trouble in the streets. Urban combat, not their strong suit. On the other hand, though, the Bio Army coming in from all sides. Disruptors looking for an opportunity. EMPs across the board. Carriers almost irrelevant in this fight. Another Disruptor shot fires through, finds nothing. Bio Army on the fourth. Zest still powering through ByuN. Looking for an opportunity here. Another army. Well, the Bio Army is dangerous. The main base looks like it's gone. At this point, we're lifting the buildings. The turrets are finding interceptor kills. The interceptor count is at 2. So those are just expensive paperweights right now, the carriers. But they are rebuilding. ByuN decides it's not over yet. He decides he's still got room to play. And, well, he has starports. He's backed off. He didn't see the base no one ever takes. He has not looked at it at all. Zest is mining from the semi-island. What are you doing, ByuN? Trying to fight into this. GG! Zest cleans it up. Not an easy process, but a well-deserved victory. Zest with, as opposed to what I'm used to seeing, which is some haphazard, drunken brawler, that was a methodical, decisive, and well-executed victory in every game. ByuN, I think, caught a little out by the fact Zest was playing standard and doing it so well. Wow. Well, Zest takes it 3-1. And in convincing fashion, though exciting as well. So, I mean, Zest vs. ByuN, of course we're going to watch, but I'm extra surprised by that series. I hope you are too. What do you think? Leave a comment. Is ByuN ever going to change his style? Or does the game need to change for him? That's the question. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, check out all the other videos. I'm sure there's 5 hours of Angry Coach you haven't watched yet, so if you're bored, I guess. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. See you next time. Stay chill.